Authorities say early Monday, officers tried to pull Walker over for a traffic violation when they say a shot was fired out the car door.
21 shots fired. That vehicle just had a shot come out of its door.
A chase then happened. Minutes later, police say Walker slowed down, then ran away wearing a ski mask. Authorities say the officers tried to deploy tasers but missed. Walker continued running. Then they say he stopped and turned towards police, who then opened fire. Officers tried to render aid, but Walker died at the scene. A preliminary report from the medical examiner showed Walker's body had more than 60 wounds.
It was absolutely excessive. The law requires to use force that is reasonable. We've heard numbers as high as 95 shells on the ground.
Police say Walker was unarmed when he was shot and say this handgun and loaded magazine were later found on the driver's seat of the vehicle.
The U.S. government has discriminated against African-American military veterans dating back decades, disproportionately rejecting disability claims from black veterans at a much higher rate than white veterans. That's according to a new lawsuit filed in federal court this past week by Yale Law School's Veterans Legal Services Clinic. The group filed the suit on behalf of Conley Monk Jr., a Vietnam War veteran whose VA benefits were denied for nearly 50 years. We reached out to the VA to get a statement in response to this lawsuit, and without addressing the merits of the suit, we got this statement that reads, part of which reads this way: Secretary McDonough has made clear that delivering world-class, timely, equitable care and benefits to all veterans is our top priority at VA. Throughout history, there have been unacceptable disparities in both VA benefits decisions and military discharge status due to racism, which have wrongly left black veterans without access to VA care and benefits. We are actively working to right these wrongs, and we will stop at nothing to ensure that all black veterans get the VA services they have earned and deserve. Richard Brookshire, the VA is acknowledging that, yes, there's a problem. I guess the question is, what should be done about it?
Night I was watching this movie called Fright Night, Freak Night, or some type of night, but it's about vampires. I don't know if you know vampires are cool people or not, but I'm telling you something that I found out. A werewolf can kill a vampire. Did you know that? I never knew that, so I didn't want to be a vampire anymore. I wanted to be a werewolf.
And it's a title given to Christ, Philippians 2:11. And my name translates in the Hebrew language as Yahweh. So I went on to Amazon Prime. I was like, you know what, let me see if there are any documentaries on Yahweh. So went in the search bar, typed in Yahweh, that came up. Went out and shared it on my platform. That was my night. In terms of the backlash, or what people call it, we're in 2022. History is not supposed to be hidden from anybody. And I'm not a divisive person when it comes to religion. I embrace all walks of life. You see it on all my platforms. I talk to all races, all cultures, all religions, and my response would be, it's not about educating yourself on what Semitism is and what anti-Semitism is. It's really about learning the root words of where these come from and understanding that this is an African heritage that is also belonging to the people.
Hindsight, are you sorry for the hurt that your posts caused people?
I take my responsibility for posting that. Some things that were questionable in there, untrue. Like I said, and the first time you guys asked me when I was sitting on that stage, I don't believe everything that everybody posts. It's a documentary, so I take my responsibility.
It seems like Adam Silver wanted to hear the word "I apologize," or in your mind, you said, "I didn't mean to cause any harm." Were you apologizing, or did you not apologize?
I didn't mean to cause any harm. I'm not the one that made the documentary. Yeah, I think I can ask a better question. It's just, where were you when I was a kid, figuring out that 300 million of my ancestors are buried in America? Where were you guys asking those same questions when I was a kid learning about the traumatic events of my familial history and what I'm proud to come from and why I'm proud to stand here and why when I repeat myself that I'm not going to stand down, it has nothing to do with dismissing any other race or group of people. I'm just proud of my heritage and what we've been through. And the fact that this has pinned me against the Jewish community. And I'm here answering questions of whether or not I'm sorry or not on something I didn't create. And it was something I shared. And I'm telling everybody I'm taking responsibility. Then that's where I sit.
Kyrie posted a link in his story to a video. And this is why he's getting in trouble. But isn't that video for sale on Amazon?
Yeah, it's an excellent point.
That's the craziest thing ever.
It's an excellent
Kyrie is getting in trouble, and Amazon's not?
Yeah.
Like, what? You want all this
Well,
from
what's
him
funny
because
is-
he watched a video and he sent a link to it that you're selling.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
That's fucking wild. Amazon considers disclaimer to anti-Semitic film.
Oh, good for them.
Nice.
Consider it.
The company said it was working with the Anti-Defamation League to potentially add language to the page that viewers see before buying or renting the film. Meanwhile, the film is
No promises.
still for sale. They want him to give up $500,000. They want him to make a public apology. They want him to talk to different leaders. And the fucking video, all he did is post a link.
Well, Sesame Place is apologizing after a mother claims a character at the park blatantly ignored her children. This video on Instagram has nearly 500,000 views. The mother posted it on Saturday and says she believes the incident is racially motivated.
Well, we're talking about Sesame Place, and it is just north of Philadelphia. This theme park that's geared towards children is now having to apologize after this Baltimore area father shared video showing the characters appearing to repeatedly ignore his young black daughter while giving the white children some attention. Now, this case should not be confused with another viral video on that same weekend of 2 young black girls from New York City appearing to have the same experience. This is the moment a Baltimore father said a Sesame Place character in costume ignored his young black daughter but gave the white kids some attention. Sesame Place is owned by SeaWorld Parks and Entertainment, and the Baltimore attorneys who represent the family say they're suing for compensatory and punitive damages, claiming there's been a pattern of employees snubbing black kids. On that same Father's Day weekend, this video of 2 young girls went viral when another character walked past them after greeting white kids just moments before.
For everyone in contracts, I know that this will never happen again in history. There will never be a situation where people end a multi-billion-dollar deal off of a tweet. Gotcha. Gotcha. So I would like to thank everyone that was involved with this negotiation. Thank God no one was hurt in the process. And I feel free. The reason why I'm announcing that I'm running for president is I want the FCC to look at my money. If the FCC was looking at my money, there had been a possibility that Adidas wouldn't have went into JP Morgan and froze my account and put a $75 million hold on 4 different accounts. I went from being a multi-billionaire to not being able to use my Apple Pay. 4 nights ago, I couldn't use my Apple Pay because somehow Adidas was able to legally go in and freeze my money. And when I see this, I think, well, if this could happen to me, this could happen to other Americans. And for what? You know, this can happen to an American that didn't even steal anything, that didn't even hurt anyone. This could just happen to you for saying the wrong idea out loud, for expressing yourself. So, let me read these chronicles. This is how he was ready. This is a trainer, but come to find out, he was actually Canadian intelligence, but this is my trainer. So this shows you the kind of handlers that are around the superstars in California, right? So it says, I'm going to help you one of a couple ways. First, you and I sit down and have a loving and open conversation, but you don't use cuss words. And everything that is discussed is based in fact, and not some crazy stuff that dumb friend of yours told you or you saw in a tweet. Second option, I have you institutionalized again, where they medicate the crap out of you and you go back to zombie land forever. Play date with the kids just won't be the same. This is the way a Hollywood trainer was talking to me to force me to go and like apologize, right? You think about if Harley was part of intelligence, right? What kind of people you think are surrounding my kids?